My name is Jim Drugas. I'm the owner of the Unoppressive Non-imperialist bargain books, which the name of which gets a big chuckle every day. I think there's probably tens of thousands of pictures of the sign outside because every day people love the name. And people walk in just for that reason. We've been here, this is our 30th year. We try to find the best of the books that we can afford to sell for at least half price or less. Not used books really, but we've been remarkably lucky. People walking in and asking for, or just discovering randomly something they've always wanted their whole life somehow. It's like amazing how often it happens. But I guess books are like that, especially I think New Yorkers, when they find us for the first time, they go crazy. They just go like they really have a lot of fun because we do hoard all of the best things we can find, and I guess that's a subjective point, but it seems to work for all these years. It's actually really enjoyable to watch people. So the comic book store is a subtenant, and they were here since about 8 years now. They signed on with us. We had to sign a new lease, so we couldn't really afford it single-handedly. So there was a wall here where I'm standing, separating up until the first 10 feet or so. The whole side of the store here. Quite a lot of our own half-price graphic novels as well. That's most of that wall is me. I've always done that. He does the more in the general realm of comics and regular comic periodicals. That's been a struggle, though, I think, for him. And those comic stores all over town, the small ones in particular, are a dying breed. Then again, so are bookstores, perhaps, but maybe not. I think we're still hanging on. I think there's hope. There's a lot of nostalgia for bookstores too. There's it's all about whether or not there's going to be a reasonable rent kind of situation, especially now. Especially to alleviate the past year or so. I think realistically, no retail store can compete with on the level of the so-called going rent prices, these days. It's almost ridiculous, and even restaurants can't survive these days. They don't pay their rent. So we'll see. I mean, the real estate industry is extremely resistant to giving anybody a break much, but they don't really have much of a choice now. There's so many empty stores after all, isn't there? I designed these little quote cards just for fun. Mostly William Blake, who's my favorite. He appears up there next to Bob Dylan, and he's still highly regarded anyway. Like Patti Smith is probably our most loyal celebrity customer. We have lots of fun talking Blake when she comes around. She's a big fan, as I am, and so he's kind of a focal point. And so I decided to put together these little quotes based on designs, portraits that he did of a lot of important poets and philosophers. The West Village is still a really special place, even though has become a little expensive in a way, but it still has this bohemian quality, especially here in this particular spot. In fact, the center of the West Village is exactly where you're standing right now, and people are always, whenever I tell people that, they're like, really? They look down. I feel like our customers are some of the most interesting people too. We often have I know you're going to find this amusing. There's a novel where we appear on page 61. The character in the novel discovered a Carmine Street store, unoppressive, non-imperialist bargain books, where he could indulge another hobby, debating politics. So we're actually a place inside a novel, and we've been in a whole bunch of films too. So if you come by and visit, you may have a chance of bumping into you know someone else who wants to challenge you to a discussion. It happens all the time, spontaneously. It's great fun. There's a lot of history here, actually. It's you're. I couldn't possibly explain how easy it is to get a little bit enthralled just by the minute you walk in the door.